Hi there, and welcome to Power Pop Shakers, where I talk about power pop new releases and the odd reissue as well. And first up today, it's an album by UVTV called Always Something, which is available on vinyl on the Paper Cup music label. It was released in May this year, and it's the band's third album. They originally come from Gainesville, but they're now based in Queens, New York. There's a bit of a buzz about this band at the moment, with the music press starting to take notice, but hopefully there'll be more than just a music critic's favourites. I put the track Back to Nowhere on the Power Pop Shakers playlist, and you can find the playlist by just going to my channel and clicking on playlists. The track Back to Nowhere, it's got quickly strummed guitars that remind me of mid-80s Wedding Present, and Rose Vastola's vocals sort of hark back to the halcyon days of late 70s female-fronted new wave pop groups. And next we've got the Atomic Zeros and the album News from Nowhere, which is on the Ghost Highway Recordings label. You can get it on vinyl, and it came out in April this year. The band hails from Asturias in Spain, and the label Ghost Highway Recordings is based in Madrid. The sound of the band is classic garage band with sort of Detroit, New York and Australian proto-punk influences. It's their second album. The album includes a cover of a track by Lords of the New Church called Russian Roulette. I've put the track Dirty Game on the playlist, and that originally came out as a 7-inch single late last year, and that was limited to 200 copies, but you can find it on their latest album. Okay, moving on, and it's the self-titled album by More Kicks, which came out back in November 2019 on vinyl, and it's available on a number of labels: Wonder, Dirt Cult, Beluga, Adrenaline, Fix Music and Snap. If you like Radio Days, The Reflectors, the Speedways, you really should be all over this. They're a London-based band, and I've just checked and found that their second album has already been recorded and is off to be mastered at the moment, and the band says on their Facebook page that it's 47% better than the first record. I've put two tracks on the playlist which were released as their first and second singles, namely I'm on the Brink and Blame It on the Satellite. Right, next up we've got Hamish Hawk and the album Heavy Elevator, which comes out on the 17th of September, and that's available, or will be available, on LP and CD. He's an Edinburgh-based singer-songwriter, and his latest singles just blown me away. I can hear influences from Belle and Sebastian, Neil Hannon, Scott Walker, but he's got his own charisma, his own lyrical dexterity, and I can see real unlimited potential with him. The single's called the Mauritian Badminton Doubles Champion 1973, and you may well have already heard it on the radio, and because it's been all over BBC Six Music, and Joe Wiley's played it on BBC Radio 2 as well. I just love how the lyrics weave with the dexterity of a writer of the calibre of, say, Bob Dylan, to the title of the song at its conclusion. It's just magical how it works. And next up, it's the Aints and Live at Marrickville Bolo, and that comes out this month on vinyl on the Fatal label. There's limited numbers available, and I think this is an Australian label, so it might be a bit tough to get a hold of. I'm not a fan of live albums particularly, but this album, which was recorded at Marrickville Bowling Club in Sydney back in April 2018, just floored me. It's a beautiful sounding recording. The band is led by Ed Cooper, who was the guitarist with the Saints on their first two albums, and he's backed by a full band that includes saxophone, trombone and trumpet. I've put the track Goodnight Ladies, I Hear a Sound Without on the playlist, and that has stunning visuals as well as a stunning sound. Right, moving on, we've got The Lodger and the album Cul-de-sac of Love, which comes out on the Wakefield label, Philophobia. They put it out in March of this year. Indie Stalwarts The Lodger, led by Ben Siddle, who's now based in Ilkley, West Yorkshire, although he originally comes from Pontefract, has released 3 albums on labels including Slumberland in America. But after disappearing in 2010 and concentrating on production work, he returned in 2020 and started writing songs and recording again. And the strength for the songs lies in, I think, the lyrical content and also a melancholy undertone to the indie pop. I put the track Black and White Pete's Song on the Power Pop Shakers playlist. And another Wakefield connection with the next 2 tracks I'm going to talk about. Wakefield band The Cribs, and the first track I'm talking about is Fingernailed for You, which is a cover of a Comic Gains song, and they've recorded this for a various artists compilation called Stars Kill Rock, which has come out on the Kill Rock Stars album in celebration of Kill Rock Stars' 30th anniversary. And it's a beautifully understated pop treatment that they've given to this song. And the Cribs have also just launched a singles club, and they'll be releasing a single a month over the last 4 months of 2021. And the first single, the A-side, is Swinging at Shadows, and I've added that to the playlist, and I feel that their knack of writing catchy guitar pop is really as strong as ever, and I'm looking forward to hearing all of the tracks that come out. Right, next up it's The Roots and the album Mesmerised, which is coming out, or has come out rather, on vinyl on Action Weekend and Bickerton. They're an Anglo-Japanese band based in Japan, led by a chap who I think is called Chris Kent. It's actually their 8th album, and I'm afraid to say I've not heard anything by them before, and I'm going to have to investigate further. It's garage pop with some psychedelic elements. The title track, which I've put on the playlist, is a spot-on impersonation of Robin Hitchcock impersonating Syd Barrett, and it's got a really interesting video to go with it as well. Next up, it's a reissue of a late 60s psych pop classic by The Factory called Try a Little Sunshine, and there's a reissue label that's concentrating on 7-inch singles from the 60s called Solution, and they've just put it out. The Factory was one of many pseudonyms used by John Pantry, psych pop maven from the late 60s, who finished up becoming a Christian and concentrating on Christian rock. Another record that has just blown me away is Subway Sect and Moments Like These, which is available on vinyl on the GNU and Text und Tone label. It's produced by Vic Goddard's old friend Mick Jones, and Mick Jones plays piano on the record and does some backing vocals as well. The whole album was recorded in 2 days, and it features the 1981 lineup of Subway Sect. And I've been listening to some of his old material in the last few days, dating back to 1977, and it just sounds incredible to me. And he was really ahead of his time, and you can hear his influence in so many of the artists that I like from the 80s onwards that have really been inspired by Subway Sect. The track that I've put on the playlist is Since the 80s, which is nostalgic, and it's actually quite moving. The music is full of spontaneity and joy, and it's underpinned by just a cracking tune. And that's it for now, and I will be posting another video in a few days' time. So until then, take care.